Does muscle really turn into fat when you stop training for long term? Let me save you years of worries. It's a no. It doesn't happen like that. But why do so many people believe this shit? Let's bust this myth wide open right now. Hey there, I'm Coach Dimitris, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling fitness myths one truth at a time, because it can be very annoying, hearing to things that can mislead us. And we hear one thing, or a friend or a family member or an online influencer tells you one thing, which in reality, it's either deceiving, marketing, strategically lying, or just misinformation. And we don't like that, do we? Today we are tackling about a common fear, that all your hard-earned muscles magically transform into fat when you stop training for some time. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what happens to your body when you take a break from the gym and you no longer pump iron. Stick around, because I'll also share practical tips with you personally to maintain your progress even when your life gets in the way and it's hard to train every day. So the myth goes something like this, where you've been hitting the gym, building muscle, feeling really good, but life gets in the way, fucks it up, and you stop training for a while. And suddenly your muscles vanish and fat appears in their place. It sounds scary and frightening, right? And that fear comes from misunderstanding how our bodies actually work. Here's why this myth actually exists. When you stop training, two things happen. First, your muscles shrink, a process called atrophy. Second, you're eating the same amount of food but moving less. You're likely to gain fat because you're burning less calories. Now, if you combine those two changes together, it might look like muscle is turning into fat, but I promise you, that's not the actual truth what's happening behind it. The confusion often comes from this visual change, less muscle, more fat, but let's get into the science to understand it. Muscle and fat are two completely different types of tissue. Think of it like this. Muscle is like a rubber band, and fat is like jelly. We all love jelly. One doesn't turn into the other. They're separate substances. When you stop training, your muscle fibers shrink because they're not being used. That's what we call atrophy, not transformation, like magic. And science actually backs this up. Studies show that muscle tissue remains muscle tissue when it shrinks. And fat cells, they grow and shrink depending on how many calories you consume versus how many calories you burn. One does not turn into another overnight. To illustrate, imagine stop weight training. Your muscles reduce in size without the stimulus, but the fat you gain comes from purely a calorie imbalance. It's not some magical transformation as mentioned previously, it's just basic biology. So what does this mean for your fitness journey? If you take a break from training, you haven't ruined your body. It's all about getting back into your routine and when you're ready to achieve back your muscle mass. And yes, muscle memory is your best friend. Here's what to do if you're worried about losing progress. You have to keep moving. Even light activity like walking, yoga helps maintain your metabolism. Staying active also keeps your joints and mental health in check. Watch your diet. Adjust your calorie intake to match your reduced activity levels. And also always focus on high protein meals to preserve muscle mass and curb that hunger. Get back into the gym, slow and gradual. When you're ready, ease back into training with lighter weights and lower volume to avoid injury or sustaining long-term effects of it. You gotta stay consistent. Muscle memory is an actual thing. When you return to training, your body will rebuild faster in terms of muscle than the first time. And also you gotta set realistic goals. Taking a break isn't a failure. It gives you a chance to reset and come back stronger at many times. And remember, taking a break is okay. It's what you do afterwards that counts. Whether it's a week off, a few months off, your journey is still your own, and it's still your own journey to follow. Now, if this video cleared up some of the confusion for you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who actually really needs to hear this truth, and this is the actual truth. Now, everyone, don't forget to subscribe as usual for more myth busting content. Check out my other videos about tips on building muscle, losing muscle, and all other sophisticated fitness content. And don't forget to live your healthiest life. Have a fitness myth you want me to debunk? Drop a comment below, and I'll get back to you and I'll do it. You never know, I might convert that comment into a video. See you in the next one, guys.